SiteMinder Federation enables web and mobile single sign-on across multiple enterprises and cloud. SiteMinder Federation can do SSO in a wide variety of architectures: agent-based, proxy-based, SAML-based, agentless, and web services. This demo will provide an overview of SiteMinder Federation, showing how easy it is to set up an entity and configure a single sign-on secure connection to a service provider. There are 3 entities involved in this demo. We will only show 2. On the left, the organization entity could be an enterprise or government agency that needs to establish secure connections with entities like a service provider entity, as Salesforce.com on the right. The organization needs to provide SSO to their employees for their connection to a service provider like Salesforce.com. This eliminates the cumbersome need for the user to log in again, either with their same credentials or different ones. Federated SSO will enable a user, either an internal employee or mobile employee, to access an application. In this example, it will be a cloud-based application, Salesforce. By authenticating to a standard-based external identity provider, in this case SiteMinder is acting as SAML2 identity provider. This is done using a pre-established trust relationship. In SiteMinder Federation, we call the trust relationship a partnership. The partnership is established between 2 entities: an identity provider or a certain party, and a service provider or reliant party. So, let's get started in configuring the partnership. Federation entities and partnerships are set up using an easy-to-understand, step-through wizard within SiteMinder Administrative UI. Let's log in as administrator, superuser, and browse the Federation. First, we will walk through creation of local and remote entities. To create a new entity, the administrator clicks on Create Entity, selects Entity Location, Local, and the new entity type, SAML2 IDP. Then proceeds to the next step by clicking Next or Step 2, Configure Entity. To configure the new entity, the administrator enters Entity ID, Entity Name, Description, defines base URL, default SLO confirm URL, and other parameters as needed, and then goes to the final step to confirm all information and finish. New local entity Forward Inc. was created using 3-step wizard. An entity can also be imported. For example, to import remote entity for Salesforce application, administrator clicks on Import Metadata, selects Import as Remote Entity, and browse to previously exported Salesforce application metadata file. Opens the file, selects the file, and goes to the next step by clicking on Next or Step 2, choose Entity, enters entity name, and goes to Step 3, Import Certificates, inputs an alias name, and goes to Step 4 to confirm information and finish. The remote entity SFDC has been successfully created. Next, we will run through the 6-step wizard to set up a new Federation partnership. To create a new partnership, administrator clicks on Create Partnership. Then selects partnership type, SAML2 IDP to SP in this example. In Step 1 Configure Partnership of the wizard, administrator enters partnership name, partnership description. From local IDP pick list, selects previously defined local IDP entity Forward Inc. And from remote SP pick list, previously configured remote SP entity SFDC. Note that the administrator can choose any existing local identity provider entity, IDP, or remote service provider entity, SP, or can create new entities by using the Create links. Also note in this step that any configured user store can be added as an authentication source for the users who are going to federate. In this case, the administrator selects Forward Inc. LDAP user store and goes to the next step. Step 2, Federation users, allows administrator to select which user attributes in user groups are going to be used to allow and deny access to the Federation protected resources. In this case, administrator selects all users in directory and proceeds to the next step. Step 3, Assertion configuration, allows the Federation partner in the assertion to configure the user attributes. Administrator selects for name ID type user attribute, and for the value enters mail. Once all required attributes are defined by the administrator, he is ready to move to the next step. Step 4, SSO and SLO, allows administrator to define URL to be protected and URL for single logoff SLO between two federated partners. Type of SSO binding and audience. Once all defined and configured, administrator moves to the next step. Step 5, Signature and encryption, allows the administrator to define what components of the Federation partnership will be signed and/or encrypted. Administrator selects signing private key alias and verification certificate alias and moves to the next step. Step 6, Confirm, is to review and confirm that all the necessary Federation partnership settings are now in place. Administrator clicks Finish to get back to the home screen. Note that you can export all of these settings to an XML metadata file to share with a partner, or you can import an XML metadata file you receive from a partner in order to quickly set up new partnership. The new partnership SFDC is created, but needs to be activated. Now the new Federation partnership is active. Let's see the new partnership in action. In this scenario, we demonstrate how previously configured Federation partnership can enable employees of Forward Inc. to easily and securely access Salesforce application. Michael Allen is an employee of Forward Inc. First, Michael is authenticated and authorized into the employee portal without having to enter his Windows login and password. The current Windows login information is used for the employee portal application. After that, Michael clicks on the Salesforce link. No additional authentication required. Internet Single Sign-On, which utilizes SAML Federation, provides access to the Salesforce.com site. This is done without the need for redundant user stores or user administration processes. The connections are done using Federation standards such as OAuth, OpenID, SAML, and IDFS. Throughout its history, SiteMinder has supported open industry standards. These standards are typically complex, and SiteMinder effectively interprets the standard, shielding the customer application developer. It makes it easier for them to develop their federated applications. For more information about CA SiteMinder Federation, go to ca.com/access-management.